Happy Friday morning, y'all. It's really Thursday at 7:45 p.m. and it's too late to get this video uploaded. So, you're about to see what we did yesterday, Thursday. So, I hope you enjoy. See you soon. Happy Thursday morning, y'all. You're wondering, what's so funny? Me, myself, and I. I'm just a-popping my gums. And I glance up at y'all, because, you know, I have to be on the road. Y'all are in the hands-free cradle. I never turned the camera around. And y'all was looking at a black screen with a hint of sunshine coming through the crack of it. So just scratch whatever I said, because that was just too funny. I'm a content creator, y'all. But I hope your Thursday morning's going good. I know I've been MIA. But you see, we're in the car. It's our ride and chit chat. But I've been MIA a couple of days because I took advantage of a buddy traveling for 2 days, and I said, self, I didn't get to close 2024 out, and I always do that by the end of the December, the end of the month. Well, y'all know what has happened with the passing of my brother, and I said, let's close out 2024. So y'all know how it's like getting in a rabbit hole. But guys, it's closed out. I have a couple of little documents to come in, and I'm done for the year. Closed out. See ya, sayonara. What a year. I'm not gonna lie, I did a happy dance. It's like 2024 in the rear view mirror. That was a good day yesterday. Yesterday, late afternoon. Of course, buddy got back home and all is well, and we resume life. You know that life with Lippy thing? You never know what you're going to get. Some people would say from day to day. Yeah, buddy will tell you, you never know what you're going to get minute by minute. So, where am I going? I'm going to pick up my fat. Not the fat like Dunkin' Donut fat. I'm talking about pig fat. My butcher, Mr. John, called yesterday and said, hey, I got your fat. And I was like, oh, I forgot. I had reached out to him. I said, okay. He said, come tomorrow. I'll have it ready for you. I'm like, yes. Hot diggity dog. Change of plans. Well, I didn't have no plans. But, you remember that minute by minute? I could have ended up with a plan. Instead, we're going to do and stay firm today. Ooh, time ain't on my side, but we're going to get that done. We're going to render us some lard. Yes, and I know there's thousands of videos out there. There's not a Lippy video out there. So that's what we're going to do today. Yep, we're going to render some lard. And I am so excited because I was kind of panicking. Because I think the last batch I did was, well, about a year ago, January. So yeah, I got my year's supply. But I also used vegetable oil and corn oil in between. I'm trying to be even more mindful, cut at least both of those down in half, and lean more towards my natural rendered lard because it's healthy for us, guys. Not the stuff you buy in the store and that big bucket, you know, that says Lard. Oh, well, it's lard, all right. Lard of what, you know? Not nothing I want. So we're going to do that. And hopefully we get some new friends that find it interesting and learn a little something. That's the beauty of a platform. We get to learn from each other. So today's a good day. Sky is clear. I mean, there's a little residual clouds, but it's very clear. 60 degrees. It's a nice day. A nice day to go pick up some pig fat. Where was I? I had a little sneezing fit. Y'all, my allergies are kicking my behind. I'm telling you, for 3 weeks now. I mean, I'm taking Allegra every morning. It's kicking my behind. And that's starting to be common. I have developed allergies. Never had them. Probably 5-6 years ago, I was like, I got a runny nose. And my doctor said, you're developing allergies to ragweed. Okay, well, that's in the fall. We're in the winter. So what's the allergy? I don't know. But I wish he would, like, go back dormant or something, because it's about to drive me nuts. Sneezy, watery eyes. It's just yuck. But we're going to tootle down the interstate and go get our Lard. I don't have anything else to do. I try to make my weekly trips productive. I didn't plan on a weekly trip this week. This is the first time my vehicle is cranked in 4 days, 5 days. Something like that. I mean, it's been a little while. I hadn't been to the post office, so yeah, which I'm liking that because it saves on the gas, you know. Which I noticed gas is coming down a little bit. Not where I want it, but especially when you drive a big SUV. But the speed that I drive, I can get about 20 miles to the gallon. You put Buddy in my car to drive, he gets like 14. He said, well, you gotta blow the soot out. I said, I'm fine. I just tootle down the road. But yeah, that's what I've been doing in case y'all have missed me. I hope you have. I missed y'all. Just closing out the year. And to be honest, I haven't turned much of social media on. I know that's kind of rude, but I've been enjoying this one channel on Pandora. It's called Easy Recliner or Recline Easy or Easy Recliner, I think is what the station is. But y'all, ooh, it's getting a little warm in here. Yeah, write that down. Lippy getting warm. But they play Elton John, of course, the Bee Gees, the Commodores. They play Soft Eagles. It's just, I'm loving that channel. And of course, I found it through Buddy because he was playing it about, I don't know, a couple months ago. I was like, what's that channel? And he told me. I had a heck of a time finding it. That's just because I couldn't remember the name. So I handed him my phone one day. I said, would you find that channel? And he went right to it. Well, for 2 days, I have gone back in time. Now, I won't sing y'all any tunes. 1, I might get in trouble. You know. 2, I don't want to hurt y'all's ears. So, trust me, if you listen to Pandora, find that channel. I mean, it just takes you back. You know, I was like, I wonder if I need to let my hair grow down to my butt, get me some bell bottoms, you know, try to look like Stevie Nicks back in the day. Yeah, that's the vibe I was pulling. Knowing I couldn't hit no 3 marks. Nope. I mean, you know, come on. I'm going to be 60 in June. My groove isn't groovy no more. So I guess I just fantasize in my head and not take a chance and risk going to the emergency room. Nobody wants to go there. I mean, I have frequent flyer miles, guys. I mean, I hope they expire. It's not been good. What, for 2 years now? 2, 3 years? I don't know, 4 years? I mean, when a woman walks with a backpack blower on and you're walking on flat pavement, concrete, and somehow you shift your foot wrong, and an hour later you're at the emergency room because, why? You done cracked 3 ribs. But I didn't let go of that blower handle. I sure didn't. Nope. So yeah, you know, I'm trying to change up some. Safety first. I preach to my grandkids while I'm preaching it to myself. Safety first, Lippy. Safety first. Be mindful. And I think it'll connect in this head, you know. Had enough hospital bills, it should be done slap me upside my head. But I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I'm being mindful. So yeah, I won't be putting bell bottoms on and extensions in my head and trying to go back to the 70s. No, I'll just keep the memories going, keep them alive. I got this 18-wheeler next to me. I'm glad I got past him because, oh, he was trying to get over. Well, the dummy should have slowed down. He was in the passing lane. Who am I to teach an 18-wheeler driver? But, I mean, you know, you knew you was getting over. You knew you needed a turn. You should have got over a mile back. That way you were in the lane that you need to turn in. Not wait at the last minute. So now I'm in front of him with my blinker on, making a safe turn. Oh, never mind, he's passing me. So then why'd he act so rough? Like jerking the wheel. Cause he got a mile to go to his next exit, another interstate. So that's probably what he was doing. Remember I just told him he should have done it a mile back? Well, he was about a mile. Yeah, some things I don't need to speak out loud. But I'm gonna total to get our fat, and I'll meet y'all back in the kitchen to get it going. And we'll get some coffee, and we'll see what else we can talk about. It's gonna be like a ride, chit chat, and let's cook down some lard. It's heart healthy. I mean, it fills our pantry. It saves us lots of money. I mean, it's all about positivity. I mean, there's nothing negative about this, unless you get grossed out. Well, I can't help you on that now. I'm just gonna say, don't be grossed out. You're in control of your own fat. That didn't come out right. You're in control. You're in control of your own oil. Is it oil or oil? Oil. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Yeah, sometimes it's best I just shut it off. That's what I'm gonna do. I'll see y'all in the kitchen. I told you we'd be back in the kitchen. I just didn't tell you when. It's been about 2.5 hours. Yes, 2.5 hours. So, what we're going to be working with is pork, which is going to be the lard. We're also working with tallow, beef fat. Now, this beef fat is off the muscle, so we don't want to confuse this tallow to what you would get in the fat around the organs, as in the kidneys, as in the liver. This is actually off the muscle. So this is not the type of tallow that you would use for health and beauty, okay, or for baking. I like the beef fat because it has a high heat point. 420 to 425 degrees is about the window for that high heat point. So therefore I use my beef tallow, meaning the muscle fat, when I'm frying. Okay, so there is a little bit of difference, and I like having both. But I also saved the tickets off of each package. Now these came in 4 different packages. 2 to the pork, 2 to the beef. I'm doing 1 of each right now. So I'm going to show you what I paid per pound and how many pounds I'm working with in our beef tallow, how many pounds I'm working with in our pork tallow, okay? Now, we did lose some pound because I had to trim, like you would normally trim any pieces of fat. And I do my sizes different from the pork to the beef, okay? And I'll explain why I do mine just a little bit different. For the beef, I had 3.18 pounds, okay? I paid $2.19, 69 cents a pound. Very, very reasonable. That's for this package. Now, I have the same amount. Actually, the other package is 3.60. But I cut mine up in very small cubes, very tiny cubes. Some people will grind. I personally, I'm not going to waste my time to grind the beef tallow, the beef fat. There's my oven going off because I have yet to ever see where it made a difference. Now, that is our beef. So we've got $2.19. This is right at 3 pounds. So I lost a few ounces. We're going to see how much 3 pounds of beef fat tallow is going to yield. Now let's move to the pork. This is the roaster, okay? This one is 3.40 pounds. 69 cents a pound. I paid $2.33 for this. So I didn't have a whole lot I had to trim. I do cut my pork a little bit larger. Not much, but a little bit larger. $4.52 for the beef and for the pork. And I've got 6 pounds here. Not too bad, guys. So the first thing I'm gonna do is get my roaster plugged in. I have my roaster sitting on, I'm putting the lid on. Now, I don't put water in mine. That's because I'm not concerned about it burning, because I'm actually cooking on 225 degrees Fahrenheit. Because I'm cooking on that Fahrenheit temp, I don't have to risk scorching it. If you're doing it on the stove, I would add to this amount 1/8 of a cup of water. That's because it has a tendency to burn on the bottom. But what I have found working with these new stoves, unless, now this doesn't have anything to do with someone cooking on a gas stove. We're talking about electric stoves. These new stoves go up and down, up and down. And if you actually do a temp check, when it goes up to meet your, say, 350 degrees, you're going to see when it decreases, it's going to decrease to about 346 degrees. But when it comes back up, it's going to exceed 350, go up to about 353. So you're not maintaining, and I'm just using 350 as an example. You're not maintaining controlled temp. So I'm not doing my fat, my tallow, my lard, whatever you want to name it, on top of this stove, because I cannot maintain 225 degrees Fahrenheit. The beef has a lid on it. Let me show you. I'm using the ceramic coated pot. That's because I'm going to do mine in the oven. That gives me 225 degrees consistent temp in my oven. I've got 225 degrees Fahrenheit consistent temp in my roaster. Now you could do this in a crock pot. Some call them slow cookers. Do it on a low setting. But 225 degrees is your sweet spot when you're wanting to render your fat, whether that be your tallow, whether that be your lard from the pork. Now, the only difference is I don't have to sit here and stir it. I just have to stir it every 30 minutes. Then I'll go to about every hour watching it. This is probably going to take 3 pounds of the tallow. I would almost say 3 to 4 hours. But you'll know because that fat's going to condense down and kind of lay at the bottom, okay? And this is going to be more of a yellow tint than our pork. It's going to be more clear white. But I'm looking at a good 3 hours minimum for both. But that's okay because I can stir pay attention. And when I see that fat stop floating, it kind of comes down, I'm stopping there. Because I don't want to risk going beyond that, because that's going to yield you a kind of an off smell, kind of strong, and not a pretty clear result. And that's just how I do it. Now, my old stove, I could have done it on the stove, but there again, it does require my attention. This, it does, but not consistent, because I know 225 degrees is where it needs to be. Now, my roaster's already getting hot. I'm gonna put this in the oven, and I'm gonna bring you guys back and forth as I'm stirring so you can get a visual of what I'm looking at. That also gives me time to get my jars sterilized, clean, and get these things canned. Hopefully, it's 3 o'clock now. Told y'all it was late. I'm looking probably about 6 or 7 tonight. So the video will go out a little bit later, but that's okay. I don't have anything else that requires my immediate attention. This just allows me to finish my normal chores that I normally do this time in the evening. So that's what I'm doing. 225 degrees, your oven. It's been 30 minutes. You're thinking, where is the oil? It's coming, guys. But like I said, I like to stir it every 30 minutes till I really start seeing that oil start coming up. And then I'll check it about every hour. Oops, I guess I could put the camera on here, huh? Okay, let's look at the pork. Can you see it's already starting to render? That's because it's in a roaster. It's contained. And if you think about the oven, a larger vessel, a larger pot. It's been 4 hours in the oven, and I have the tallow draining. I use a coffee filter. I normally use like a cheesecloth and just double or triple it, but that required me to go to the Sugar Shack, so I just went ahead and grabbed a coffee filter. Not what I hoped for, but better than what I had when I started. We have 1.5 pints of tallow. We have 1 full pint of the lard. Now, I like it to be right below the inch mark, but this is more like 1/4 of an inch below the rim. So I'm fine with that. It's less than what I had hoped for. It's 7:45 at night, so I was right on the mark, about 4 hours. But I had a lot of things that I needed to do this late afternoon, early evening. And I'm glad that I went ahead and took the time to put the tallow in the oven and the lard in the roaster. The cut of fat was not the best. I still have 6 pounds, 3 pounds of the lard, pork, and I have 3 pounds of the beef tallow still to do tomorrow. So I'm looking at yielding 2 pints of the lard and 3 pints total of the tallow. But usually, mathematically, after you trim, you should be able to render at least 1 pint per pound. I was definitely short on that, and that was because of how thin a lot of the cuts was that I had to work with. But did you see the difference in color? The tallow has that yellow tint like I had told you guys about. Now remember, this is muscle fat, not leaf fat. It's not around the organs. This is the muscle fat. I like the muscle fat for frying because it will reach a 420 to 425 degree Fahrenheit. So it's a high temp oil. The lard, I usually put that in, to be honest. I put it in if I'm just gonna smother fry. I put it in with my eggs, things of that nature. It doesn't smell porky. The tallow doesn't smell beefy because I cooked both at 225 degrees Fahrenheit. And that's just personally what I have found that gives me the smoothest lard or tallow. Now remember at the beginning of the video, I said I had 1 pint left. Here is my pint jar. And I thought I had 3/4 left. Actually, I've got about a half a pint left. And this was done January of last year. So, I mean, and it takes us, unless I'm frying, and this is now lard, not tallow. This will last me a good month. So I can use about a pint of lard per month. Sometimes I can stretch it 6 to 7 weeks. It just depends on what our menu is, because I use a lot of avocado oil. I also use a lot of olive oil. I'm very happy that I'm finished with this. I'm just not happy that it shorted me a half a pint on the tallow, and it shorted me probably a half a pint on the lard, because like I said, I brought that lard up almost to 1/4 of an inch. So I could have backed it down and then, you know, rendered the difference, but it didn't allow me to, because I had cooked it to where both tallow, which is beef, or the pork, which is lard, had done flattened out at the bottom. All the oil had raised above. I had no floaters. That means it had rendered all it could render. And that's how I always determine at 225 degrees Fahrenheit. So yeah, I'm fixing to get things cleaned up, get ready for bed. It's been a long day. It's been a long day for Buddy. But I thank you for staying with me today. I hope you learned a little something. But you know what? I appreciate the young man's attempt at learning. And I hope he learned all on me. And therefore the next customer, or, you know, or somebody that requested, he'll do a little bit better, because it's all about the learning, you know, and you got to start somewhere. So I'd rather start with me, because I appreciate his effort and I appreciate his time. And I appreciate Mr. John for always offering me the ability to purchase the fat at a very reasonable price. So it's good all the way around. I am smiling because I have more than what I had this morning when I started. So that's a blessing, and God is good for that. But as always, stay safe, stay well, and God bless. And I will see you this weekend on our busy weekend vlog. Till the next one, guys.